Burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live. It's going down, baby. Burning through ashes trying to make comments.
Burn live, y'all. Burn live, where we burn through conversations, try to ash out common sense. Welcome to Friday's edition. We don't be talk politics. I really want to get into it. We're gonna go somewhere into politics, but today's open discussion. I got my two good co-hosts, CEO of Racism, Johnny at his heart. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, let's get into it.
Hey,
I don't like
hey.
that. I felt like I rushed that so much.
You good, brother? You good?
Sounded good to me.
Yo. Okay, so I'm gonna start today's show off by just saying there has lots of weirdness, and I want to guess, I want to say clarity been going on in social media. I wouldn't say the world or in the political aspect, just in general. There's been a lot of weirdness, which a lot of people can agree on, and there's been a lot of clarity, clearing up things in certain departments. The reason I bring that up because today we're definitely going to start off by talking about Miss Cheyenne Bryant. Um, this flew under the radar. I just found out about it this morning. This lady went around social media on various high platforms telling people she was a doctor, she was a psychologist, actually telling people she practiced um, law. She practiced this stuff without using her degrees and stuff like that. It was a big issue. And some people called her out on it, some people didn't. And this is where I would say we're going to open up discussion with saying of clarity of this is embarrassing. Are we going to allow people to go on social media claiming credentials without um, verifying?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's bad. You know, she looked good though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you
No,
want to
I
say
don't
one
know.
thing, they
How
say
she
she
look
looked.
good?
No, no, no. Hear me out. What I mean by that is on the outside, right? Outside appearance. That's what many were saying, right? She looks good, but you know what I'm saying?
This lady.
But you just, yeah, they said she looked good. You know what I mean? Said
Hold on.
she's a 10.
I have no clue who this person is.
But
She
Uh,
she talks
okay,
about politics.
no, she
no.
talks about psychology and healing and all
Oh,
that.
I got
But
you. I got you. I
but
got you.
go ahead. Yeah.
I got you. If you want a quick breakdown of who this lady is, here's an example right here.
a lot of videos on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And Cam James did a takedown of her, and he describes her very succinctly at the beginning of his video. So I'm going to play that. Check this out.
I don't blame you if you haven't heard of her before. Let's knock out a basic rundown of the resume. Cheyenne Bryant is a social media celebrity, producer of MTV's Teen Mom Family Reunion.
It's not a pretty exercise. Things happen.
Yeah, go ahead and get things. Bitch, you been making a bitch. Bitch, you do it then. Do it then. Do it then.
Yikes. President of an NAACP branch, author, and life coach guru who calls herself a doctor of counseling psychology, which she allegedly isn't, and claimed to get that degree.
She's just a female Andrew Tate. This sounds like everything Andrew Tate did. Got popular off of a reality TV show, became a life guru. So
Yo, Andrew Tate,
you're not capping, bro.
Yeah.
That's a very good. Wow, that's so
that's
good.
not a very good at all. That sounds.
I
dumb
think so.
And
I think she
ridiculous.
sounds like an Andrew Tate a little bit with some of her views and
Dumb
stuff.
and ridiculous. You sound dumb. You sound very, very dumb. This lady
Okay, all
went
right.
all the way out her way to say she had credentials and shit she does not. Andrew Tate has not once ever claimed to have credentials in something he does not have.
That is true.
You sound
That
stupid.
part is true. But as far as but apart from that, apart from what you
There's
said,
no
bro,
apart. You can't separate. You can't compare these two. Say, oh, they're best friends. They sound in the same. No, no. That sounds stupid.
I mean, they
Aside-
both do
Hey,
sound
Hold
stupid.
on. For one, hold on.
Aside from lying about the credentials, this sounds
let
pretty
me put
similar.
her up here so we not put how other people. Yeah, there we go. This lady. Yeah. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Black Cat.
You had something to say, little guy? Oh, you got shy.
Y'all, besides what compares can y'all compare them two together remotely?
So they both got popular off of reality television. They both were selling life guru stuff. Andrew Tate had his Hustlers University. She's got her books, and I'm assuming she
Andrew
does
Tate
other
got
stuff.
famous
Right?
off of boxing and UFC fighting.
No, he got popular off of the reality television show.
What reality
Big
television
Brother.
show?
Big Brother. Yeah. He got popular off of there. And then he started
heard of
doing
it.
life guru shit. And that's where he really started blowing up.
That's crazy. When I did my little research on him, that did not pop up at all.
The Big Brother?
Yeah. His dad was in the army, professional chess player. He was a military brat. He was got into chess too. Wasn't very good as a dad. He got into boxing, UFC. Was, I guess, what we consider mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna say he was the best. Mediocre. He had a big one. His first big fights he lost. I do believe it was like that. One of his big fights he lost. He started really manifesting his skills and stuff when his father passed away. That's when he started getting more into it, developing his skills, sharpening and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I guess Big Brother came in somewhere in between that, and then, because I personally didn't know Andrew Tate until he did an interview on PBD podcast. Other than that, I promise you, I wouldn't know nothing about Andrew Tate. Just like I don't know nothing about Cheyenne Bryant. What do you know about her, Mr. Jotty?
Just from Cheyenne, just some of the stuff that she's been saying. Um, she's been saying some very controversial stuff as far as like how women should be with men. Uh,
Hold on. She's the girl that went on Shannon Sharp show and said that she wouldn't date a
yes,
bus driver.
yeah, she's the
She
girl.
wouldn't what?
She wouldn't date a bus driver because she has all these so-called credentials and people, hold on, let me phrase this correctly. Men with her same credentials are intimidated by her. So only people that really be wanting to date her in her eyes were less of a man.
Uh,
With your
that's.
mom man.
I think my comparison is still spot on. The relationship advice stuff is female equivalent to what Andrew Tate was saying.
Um I guess if that's what you want to say, I don't see the comparison because I don't know. Maybe because I don't watch neither one of them. And the few things that I have watched Andrew Tate on, it was not about no relationship at all. It just be just like life and what men should be able to do and not to do.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard she said that 50 Cent helped her get put on.
and see, Andrew Tate, who helped Andrew Tate get on? Himself. Hard work. I don't you see how the comparison the comparison is so different.
Yeah, Andrew Tate corny though.
Andrew Tate is Cardi.
Yeah,
Uh well, okay. What about Cheyenne? Says this is the whole topic about her. Is she's Cardi?
yeah, she
Are we
Yeah,
corny too.
are we gonna
absolutely.
back her up because she's a black
She
woman?
is. She's corny.
No, she's
You know what? You're
absolutely
right. She
corny.
is black. You know what? Cheyenne Bryan for president
For president of what?
of the
College?
United States of America.
Cheyenne wouldn't even get past AOC in the primaries.
I'm just
Okay.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, come on, Hillary, come on back, Hillary.
Nah, but I feel bad. I don't know if I should feel bad for her or not because,
What?
like, for real, not because, like, I mean,
Can I
she
can I ask you a
definitely
question?
lied, bro. She don't got no doctorate degree, and she
Can I
want to
ask you a
be called
question?
Doctor Cheyenne Brown. I don't know.
So, shall we be upset for females that label themselves boss bitches?
No.
No. Okay. I am under the influence of marijuana that this lady considers herself a boss bitch. I might be wrong, you know. If anybody in the comments know more about her than I do, please let me know. Correct me. It's okay. But I consider this lady considers herself one of those. And from my understanding of the interview with Shannon Sharp, people of her stature that has her credentials, I think we need to stop right there and like, okay, so what what is her credentials? If she lied about the ones, what are her actual credentials and what she's actually looking for? Because what is her success?
Yeah.
Because yet again, if anybody want to compare her to anybody, she sounds like a Donald Trump, a fraud.
I like the joke. Very funny joke.
I know it was bad timing, but I had to put that out there.
Look, see, I'm just proud of you, Confused.
Thank you.
Joe,
Thank you. I'm working.
can I make a comment? Can I make a
Yes, sir.
comment? You know, Joe Budden says she looked good, so he would call her doctor any day.
Okay. What credentials do Joe Budden has for as us three men on this podcast?
He has a podcast. That's pretty credentialed. You know, anyone that has a podcast must be smart.
That is true. Only smart people have podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So smart people have podcasts. We allowed to call this lady and bring her up for the audience. So they be like, who y'all guys talking about? I'm talking about her.
You're talking about her.
I think this is a good shot. Yeah, there we go. Talking about her. Okay. Calling her doctor. Where she told the people where if you look up her credentials in places, they only had 2 records where people went live personally and showed that credentials go back, far as back. I never claimed to have anything but a podcast.
Yeah, she said her credentials got lost in the fire.
They got lost in the sauce. And she don't have to prove shit to nobody.
Nothing to nobody. You heard? She
Why
said
do black-
she do it.
why
She
do-
said she don't want to operate as a doctor because then she would have to go through licenses and then she'll have to diagnose people with all different types of mental health disabilities. She don't want to do that. She just want to help people.
So my lawyer, my internet lawyer, stated one thing that really kind of hurted my feelings about this lady. If you say anything personal to this lady and as a therapist, and then she has to testify in court, and you know how you're supposed to have immunity, you know, with your doctors and therapists and people of her nature, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. With her having no license, she has to testify and she has to tell the truth and she has to snitch on you if you told her any dark secrets because she does not have that license. Yeah. Yes. Let that sink in. Sink that on in. Let them brain cells work that around. Now, how good is she? How good is she?
I want to see some shit that she was saying. How bad was it?
How bad was this? Okay, let's actually go to. Okay, let's go to what I'm assuming kicked shit off about this lady. Okay,
I think it was a Joe Budden podcast.
I think it was this right here. Hold on.
Why would you call her a doctor, brother? I'm not saying your platform is fake at all. I'm just saying when somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where's her colleagues? Where's she a doctor at? Because I've done the research.
And it was what?
I don't see doctor nowhere. If somebody is a doctor, they will.
Hold on. Stop. Let me put down the weed. As Stephen A. Smith would say, put down the weed. Because I need y'all to pay attention to the facial expression on Cam Newton's face. How so serious he was, like, damn, why is you coming to me like that? Hold on. Let me play it again.
Because I've done the research.
And it was what?
Oh. What the Joker say? What the Joker say? Come on, CEO. I need you to help me out. What the Joker say?
Why so serious?
Oh, okay.
I don't see doctor nowhere. If somebody is a doctor, they will be proud to show you, I'm a doctor. She can't do it. She just says it. This is a fantasy that woman is living.
So now this generally would be the end of the video, right? He says she's not a doctor. She says she's a doctor. How do you prove it? She.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what kicked it off. Having an interview with this fool. Hate him, love him, like him, disagree with him, agree with him. This boy is always stirring the pot in the black community. Okay. Now, you say you want to hear the stuff that she said?
All right, hold on. I don't know who this guy is either. I don't know who any of these people are.
Okay.
I must just be white as mayonnaise. I don't know who any of these people are.
This would be sometimes the reason why CEO of racism might not be your calling card. That's all.
All right, man.
You gotta know these black people like the back of your hand, man.
Especially if you're trying to put them all on a ship and send them somewhere.
Come
like
on,
I was looking on, I was looking online for whips and chains and stuff, and I got a deal, but you know, I'm kind of thinking you might be going to other racisms soon. You know, just might. Anyway, but no, this guy used to do stand-up comedy back in the days. He has a long history of comedy. Did Def Comedy Jam. And stuff like that. So he's been through the rankings. He know what it is to be a comedian. Tells it to it raw and rugged. Don't hold no punches and stuff like that. A very straightforward type of person in the comedian world. Okay. Now that the podcast game is taking its forefront, he found his itch. His itch is just confronting the truth wherever it's at, and if he can, especially if he can make comedian of it, light of it, he's gonna do it. And sometimes I disagree with him and sometimes I agree with him. Just depends on what the situation is. I don't see nothing wrong with him. Don't cancel him nothing, keep going and do what you do, but this is what he does, and this is why this lady got called out on it. Because this lady went around on podcasts, and while she going around on podcasts, this man right here started doing research. Like, damn, hold on, wait a minute. Now, other people did too, you know what I'm saying? But his platform, so-called in the black community, is powerful because he's loudly be calling black people out on bullshit. And he, especially if you or a Trump supporter, he's definitely going to call you out on it if you have a loud platform and black. You know, black movement, you know, all that black supremacist stuff like that. Anyway, so that's where you get him. Okay? Now, where is that? Where is that? Right here? Right here? Right here? Right here? This is Joe Budden.
Yep.
This is JoJo. Okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is a little bit of something of what went on the podcast. I'm not sure. Or this is my lawyer talking. Let's see.
Where did you get your start?
My start as far as like a therapist. I started off as a marriage, family, and child therapist about 18 years ago.
That's her.
Before I obtained my doctorate degree in counseling psychology. Once I became a doctor of psychology, I transitioned from a therapist to a psychology expert in private practice. And so I no longer practice under a license. Right now, I'm in private practice.
You're making all the money now.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what people don't understand, right? So just to educate some folks a little bit, a license is really only needed so you can bill insurance.
So we have two claims here. She was practicing as a therapist with a...
Hold on. I know I pay attention to like doctors and therapists on like YouTube or whatever. Or even like lawyers and shit. They all have their licenses and credentials as they're doing their YouTube stuff, you know? They don't just... That was fucking retarded. What was the reason again? She said she doesn't have her license.
So she don't got to bill insurance.
No. Let her say it.
Amen.
Okay.
I got you.
Right now, I'm in private practice.
You're making all the money now.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what people don't understand, right? So just to educate some folks a little bit, a license is really only needed so you can bill insurance.
So
I'm pretty sure you would want to have your fucking license if you're able to have it. You would want it.
Yeah.
I'm not a complete legal expert, but this is like when.
But yet again, that's why I got my internet lawyer who's got credentials as being a lawyer. That's why, you know what I'm saying? I really been studying how I've been wanting to run this podcast and like every day, each episode and stuff like that. That's why I got specific people that I can go to for credentials, that like credibility, to like, okay, maybe Capiche may not be talking too much bullshit all the time. Cause you know what I'm saying? Because the first thing a person will always say to me is, you are always on the internet. So you get your information from the internet. So what do you know, Capiche? All you do is sit on the internet. So, and you know what? I have to say what? You are correct. There's no lie in that. But when I go get my resources from somebody, I want to make sure that they're credible enough to give me some type of right resource, so I can go in the right direction, even if they biased of the story. And I've been noticing that too, you know what I'm saying, watching certain people, and certain people have been saying, pay attention to that, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. So I have to, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to covering certain stories or how I deliver my opinion on something, I have to make sure that I can't be one-sided if I don't have all the information, especially in the beginning of knowing something. But this right here is knowing that, hey, I don't have my license. I don't want my license because it's just a tax fraud that they're going to bill me. Not that I can get a tax write-off on, because that's how she's putting it. You know what I'm saying? For people that's supposed to be so educated and on the echelon of knowing economics. Not having this license hurts me because the federal government and the state government tax me. Not that I get a tax write-off, not there's not no benefits, not that because of the benefits of having your license come with having a license and the credibility. She looking at the money aspect like, there's not enough money behind a license. That's what I got out of that.
Well, I think more than that is just an excuse for her not having a license when she, covering up for the fact that she's not credentialed.
Yeah.
You ran a reality TV show.
She ran it, or she was a part of it?
She, from this dude, she ran it. Let's go back. Hold on. Maybe I heard it incorrectly. I'm sorry. Let me hear it again.
Very succinctly at the beginning of his video. So I'm going to play that. Check this out.
I don't blame you if you haven't heard of her before. Let's knock out a basic rundown of the resume. Cheyenne Bryant is a social media celebrity, producer of MTV's Teen Mom Family Reunion.
It's not a.
So you ran it. That's her right here. That's what I thought. This is her right here. With the security people. Because these are the team whatever. So I'm not saying that you're not successful. I'm not saying that you don't have some type of credentials. You know, this is why she's going around on podcasts, is the way and she's talking adequate, because why? She's been in front of a camera so many times. I just think she's stabbing at the wrong credentials. Because then people got, you got this right here, basically.
She was practicing as a therapist with a license, and she now is saying she's practicing without a license. Now, just to be clear, in every state in America, if you are treating people as a therapist, you must be licensed. You are looking at California's license database search. So if you hold a license as a therapist in California, your name will appear.
So was she doing like one-on-one treating people, or was she just doing internet talk shit?
That you don't know.
Nah, she said she was doing one-on-one treatments with a lot of people. Yeah.
Then that's illegal. That's fucking crazy.
But she was operating under a life coach type of thing.
She might as well have been selling drugs. That's illegal. That's crazy.
Hey, little drug dealer down there got Percocets. How you get Percocets? I went to go see Cheyenne. Told her my life problem. She subscribed Percocet 30. Huh? We in Cali, man. Huh? Is this starting to sink in? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is not ethnical. This is not something we want to be teaching our next generation to do. Matter of fact, let's be honest, so many people are probably doing this by the bunches. It's probably ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? This is just one person that just has a big brand already that went on big podcasts. As soon as you hit one of those big ass platforms, boy, you finna get Google searched, clipped, everything said, what, broken down, and everything.
Well, I'll say this. You know, when you got a big platform like that, you could grift anywhere you want, right? But right. She chose to grift as a fake medical professional. I think what that tells me is she has some things wrong with her brain, right? She's got some things wrong with her brain where she needs to feel like more important, because you got a big platform. You could grift anywhere you want. You could grift into politics or something, you know? But she chose specifically to grift as a fake credentialed person. That you know, I'm no medical professional or psychologist or anything, but what I do know is people that fake things to make themselves seem more important, right? Like having credentials and whatever. They got like I don't know if I'm saying the right word, but like psychopathic tendencies, or sociopathic tendencies, she might need to seek a medical professional because that's actually fucking crazy.
Hey, I wouldn't disagree with you if for the simple fact that saying stuff about that with her not having no criminal background is considered dangerous. Or
Does she have a
might be
criminal
slippery slope
background?
of the hate speech. I don't know, to be honest with you. But from how they laid it out, it's like she doesn't have a criminal background. She's never been in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Pretty decent human being. You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest, you got this side about you that's just outrageous and a little overboard. Well, a lot overboard. Because the whole community of podcasters done had you on, one person called you out, and now a lot of people have to eventually backtrack. You know what I'm saying? That's like in the news business, backtracking a story. I wanted to be so quick to say this, but then you find out that you was wrong, and now you got to apologize to your listeners and your readers and your watchers for putting out false information because you don't want to lose that credibility, or you don't, and you just keep it going because your followers is your followers. It depends on how your ethnic morals of believing. I would think that you would want. I would think that you want to be that. Hey, my bad. I slipped up. Won't happen again. Let me. I don't know. Whatever. But speaking of people that came out of nowhere or acting and getting into politics, I like how CEO racism or Johnny said that. I love how y'all did that because in California, once again, it's beautiful. I would stay in Sunnyside, California. They have a race of a race, a race of a race of a race.
In just 5 days, LA.
Hold on. Let me pause this real quick. Let me set the scene. Let me set that scene for that ass. All right, y'all.
Oh, the politics race.
I'm gonna play this politics race for mayor in California. As you know, Governor Newsom will be running for president. This is for mayor.
These people are running for mayor or governor.
These people are running for mayor.
LA mayor.
It says LA mayor race. Yeah, but the surprising part, one of these candidates used to be a actor, I was told. And what makes it so funny, like my girl even knows about this person. And she confronted me last night and said, "Oh, hell no, not this motherfucker." I was like, "Damn."
Who's the actor?
I'll play the video and let you choose for yourself.
Voters are picking their next mayor, and Spencer Pratt, who you just heard talking to us during the commercial, shaking up the high-stakes race, promising to root out crime, homelessness, and get those burned homes, including his own, rebuilt.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
This guy?
I had to take a minute to run for mayor. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. Councilman Robbins' plan.
Did you like that?
Is this an actor?
Yeah, actor.
What's he acted in?
He used to be on a reality show, from what I was told. So he's a known actor. That's how people know of him.
No clue who this is.
Huh?
I have no clue who this is.
Good. That makes this race more interesting for me to have every Friday with you. If you could tune in with us as we watch this race go on in California. And yes, he's an actor going against this lady on the side of her, and also going against another person that's already mayor as she's trying to get reelected. And I'm gonna let them take away so you can get a little bit more information.
For treatment first, I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. Downtown is so unsafe now that they have to serve the food. All the employees have to eat inside. She doesn't care about safety. She doesn't care about anything she's talking about. At least Mayor Bass pretends to care.
And it just may be working for Pratt. He's seeing a major boost in support, outraising incumbent mayor Karen Bass by nearly 10.
Where's the money coming from? Individual support or lobbying support?
That at the moment I don't know. I do know he is running as independent. He's not running as a Republican. He has separated himself from Trump when they ask him Trump-like questions. So I think go ahead.
Because I don't look at the money these people raise no more. Or I don't know if I ever have, but I don't look at the money these people raise. I look at where money comes from. Good example, which is recent news. You know the Republican in Virginia? God, I'm mad that I forgot his name. But he just lost his primary.
Yeah.
To someone that had the largest primary in U.S. history in terms of money, right? But it was all super PACs going into the his opponent's campaign, right? God, I'm mad that I forgot his name. But the guy had a lot of support from like regular people, and it was clear as day the difference between these two. The guy that didn't have a lot of money because it was all individual support, not super PAC support. When he was given his losing speech and on the day of like the primary results, right? The guy that won had like nobody celebrating there, right? He had like 10 people. The guy that lost, it was just completely packed and everybody was, happy to be there. That Republican guy had a lot of support, like actual genuine support, right? There's a big all I'm trying to say is, my bad. I'm sorry that was very long-winded. All I'm trying to say is amount of money doesn't really matter unless it's coming from good places.
I agree with you on that. In this situation, when I see this, which from my small knowledge of what I've been looking into and what I've been hearing, is just the fact that when you see these numbers and Karen Bass, who's already mayor, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know of her. She is the known face. You would just kind of think that her numbers of 283K is very, very low upon what you would think that she would be, you know what I'm saying, gaining. That's all for that. And then you have Ramon, who's, from my understanding, like, I thought nobody liked, but when it comes to raising money, she, good. Again, But then this guy right here, when you see his stuff is like a lot of relatable, a lot of common sense. His videos are very catchy. The stuff that he has put out and went viral that my resources have picked up, and when they show, it's just like a lot of common sense, a lot of stuff that average Joe people will look to. And then you have people that the little YouTubers that go on the streets, they've been asking who they like out there on the streets, and his name pops up a lot. Karen Bass and Spencer more than Romaine. I really don't know when it comes to the money raising part. It's just interesting the gap And like shit, y'all not even in 500K, and this dude got 2.7 million. Like Jesus Christ, I know California is big, or LA is big.
It might also just be the other politicians. They're either not good or just completely boring, and this guy isn't boring. You know.
One fact I do know, and maybe this is the reason why she's hurting, and truthfully, is for the simple fact of the forest fires that Spencer Pratt lost his house and his parents lost his house, and that he's been blasting all up and down California about. During that fire, she took a trip to Africa to a friend's graduation. Yeah, that might do it, but
yeah.
I just want to hear a little bit more.
Times.
All right, the man himself, Spencer Pratt, joins us now. Spencer, thanks so much for joining us on the Curvy Couch.
So blessed to be here.
So tell us about this rise, because no one saw you coming. We really didn't. So much despair in LA, but you focus on the bread and butter issues. You're not.
Can I say, whoever put his shit together, smart. Don't make that dude look too rich. Don't make him look too poor. Make him look middle class. Make the people on the set outshine him. There you go. That was smart.
Talking high level, just brass tacks, clean streets, safety. Your house shouldn't be burned down.
Yeah, absolutely. Why I'm resonating across the country or even outside of the country is because all I focus on is the truth. I'm the look around candidate. I do basics. I don't do national politics. I don't do parties. I just say, look, they're stealing all of our tax money to give it to drug addicts, to have needles and tourniquets, and they're actually even selling the drugs to these addicts to let these people die on our sidewalks. I want to be the compassionate one, get these people mandatory treatment, medical treatment with doctors to help them get off of fentanyl and super meth, and that is what people actually want in LA.
Super meth.
As much as everybody...
What's wrong?
Meth Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan? There's Super Saiyan meth?
Yo, I'm not in California, but from what the little video, look, you want to clean up the streets. You want to clean up
I get what he's saying.
You have
Super meth,
big,
though.
hey, whatever gonna alert the people. If you can admit that big businesses is leaving states like California and Seattle, which is going to hurt the economy in those states eventually later on down the road, yeah, you better start saying something.
Well, okay. I'll say this. Not that I'm well informed on anything that's going on here right now, right? Just want to put that out there before I say this. But for the vibe that I'm getting off of this guy is political grifting, essentially, where like just the vibe from that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air little advertisement he did. It all seems like the typical political grifting that people do when they're trying to get into politics, not really for the right reasons. I don't think that this guy is trying to get into politics for the right reasons. It seems like political grifting.
So
not saying that his
be,
opponents are either, but
so the fact that his house was burnt down by a fire when a mayor was in Africa chilling, that might not be a right reason to get into politics.
Maybe. I am uninformed on this specific situation. So,
well, that is definitely true. That's all over social media. That's the major number one thing you can look up about this guy. Besides that, yeah, he stays in a trailer park home on a property that should be his that burned down. Him and his parents and a bunch of other people around his neighborhood house burned down. You know, and other than that, we wouldn't have known nothing about him. If his house was still there chilling, we wouldn't have known nothing about him. He'd have been chilling. But yet again, he's not able to rebuild his crib. It's a bunch of people like him that has enough money, put aside, did the right things to rebuild their cribs and want to stay in California, place where they love. And their mayor and governor, too, are withholding the licenses for them to do it because they got to go through all that red tape stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem in California.
Yeah.
Building is tough there.
Where these people, especially people like him, shouldn't have to go through that when, you know what I'm saying, they was already there, already established. You know, they didn't lose their house of no equity, no bad decision, a fire. You should be able to put that house right back up.
Yeah.
So that's why it seems like this young man got into politics. Because other than that, he was not known. And yes, he just stayed. He doesn't have that big swag, and I think that's what's going to resonate with a lot of people. Hopefully, out there, is that look, I just want to get the drug addicts off the streets, so you can walk up and down the streets. I bet you they would feel nice in California. I've been to Cali. I ain't gonna lie. Last year, I went last year. I haven't went this. Have I went this year? No, I haven't been this year, but last year I was going. I was going every other weekend, just down to a beach and stuff. Dipping through the little neighborhood. You know, I goes out there. I ain't gonna doing no ride times. I think I went through one bad ride time where they was having a protesting, but you know, I ain't fuck them. It needs to be cleaner. There, Seattle, Portland, Missouri, Chicago, Detroit, anywhere where it's a lot of people where you have a bunch of trash. It needs to be clean. Period. Cause you go to these rural counties, it's clean. Why we can't have that everywhere? I seen a video yesterday, y'all. And this is about United Kingdom. And it's gonna amaze y'all. Y'all probably ain't gonna believe me what I tell y'all when I tell y'all this. In the United Kingdom, if the United Kingdom was a part of the United States of America, how poor of a state would you consider United Kingdom? Would it be richer than all 50 states, or would it be poorer than 50 states? Where would they be? Where would they be ranked?
I think it would be under California and Texas, because California itself makes up a GDP larger than I think most, if not all, of Europe combined.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Johnny?
I'm not sure.
The dude told them if they became a state of United States of America, they would be the 51st state. They will be the poorest state in the United States of America. Poorer than Mississippi, because Mississippi right now is the poorest state in the United States of America.
Are you sure it would be? Mississippi is pretty fucking poor.
Pretty fucking poor.
Here, who said that? Because I don't think I could believe that.
I knew you could not believe that. I knew you couldn't. That's why the report is over there. It was done in United Kingdoms. It wasn't an American report. It was over there. Somebody picked it up and then brought it over here, and you know what I'm saying, did a report like, damn, can you believe this?
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
in
I
what
know,
way
I know.
poorest? Like GDP poorest?
Per capita?
Or per
Per
capita
person?
per person? Like individual wealth per person?
No, whatever. However they measure states, to be honest with you.
GDP?
Let me see if I can find that. Because I was just listening to it. I don't actually know who I was listening to.
Okay, so you said Mississippi, right? Mississippi is a poorest state.
Yes, sir.
125 billion GDP for Mississippi.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there. So who? I couldn't even. I'm sure trying to look, y'all. Like, who the heck was I listening to? Anti-Black Alabama, liberals host times against line. The Joe Biden thing. Joe and Biden wife coming out with a book. Yeah. See, I wish this show would show you like when you were listening to stuff. Okay.
See that? Okay, that's not true because Mississippi's GDP is 125 billion. The UK's GDP is 4.26 trillion. So, by a long shot, they have a larger GDP. I can imagine that California's would be larger than the UK.
Here we go. I'm gonna play it for you.
Yeah, California's GDP is larger. I'm assuming that it would be like maybe fifth largest GDP in America if it was a state.
Fifth. Democratic leader
Maybe.
punching realize Trump just wipe his. I swear I watch too much YouTube.
Oh, actually, you know what? I wasn't even looking at the numbers correctly. GDP of the UK is higher than California's. It would be the largest. It's only larger by like 10 million. Or 10 billion. Actually, yeah, 10 billion. I gotta look at Texas. Maybe Texas is larger than Cali. No, Texas's GDP is half the size of California's.
Oh shit! NFL news: your starting quarterback of New York Giants is getting high criticism. I don't know if we got any New York Giant fans out here. Hopefully we don't. $30 million grant sent over to St. Louis.
Hey, you guys, who is Gaddafi?
Gaddafi.
Yeah, Gaddafi. Who is that?
Bro, get the fuck off of me.
The guy that ran a part of Africa.
I guess so. Yeah.
What about him?
Was he a good guy?
I don't know the guy.
What do you mean by a good guy?
I mean, was he for like Africa and helping the people?
Was he Africa first?
Yeah, he was Africa first.
Yeah. Was he for helping Africa like get better and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would think so.
Why they kill him?
Because he was trying to take out American currency.
He was trying to take out American currency.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
By claiming something is better and worth more, trading better than what American trades.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. If America sees any type of country do that at all, they gonna consider that person or whoever a threat. Now, do we agree with them or not? That's personal, and I understand. And I understand and I get it, but that's the main reason. And I know a lot of people gonna tell you other reasons of why they did it for this. That's the 100% main reason of why they took him out, because he was trying to get rid of American currency through another way. I think through gold or something. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
they say he was trying to back their currency with gold as well, like how the U.S. is.
Yeah, but a lot of countries don't want us want a lot of countries don't want other countries to deal with America, trade around America. There are better resources out here than America. There are better protections out here than America. I mean, that's why you have choices. That's why there's 63 different countries, 191, 163, some big ass number like that. Why you ask that question?
Because I seen a video of somebody talking about him.
My question to you is they'll talk about another world leader somewhere else, but they can't talk about an American black leader.
I mean, who is there to talk about?
I think Brian Johnson from Florida is a good candidate. I think the Tim, what's his name? Damn, I can't think of his last name. Tim that actually ran for president is a good candidate. I think LeBron James, who has no felonies on his background, is a good candidate. I think any black person has no felonies is a good candidate on the calendar. I think any black person that successfully ran a business with no fraud is a good candidate to put on there. I think any black teacher that actually teach education that has a high rate graduation rate is a good candidate. I think a black person that ran a successful grocery store that says hello, good morning to you every day is a good candidate. I think that black person that's a firefighter that puts out that fire that says yes ma'am, yes sir every day is a good candidate. That police officer that put on that badge that goes to work every day, that takes a bullet for your safety and my safety and racism safety too, is a good candidate.
What if he was a pedophile?
Right. If they're not screaming reparations, I don't want to hear it.
He's a firefighter, but he's also a pedophile. Would you vote
No.
for him?
Reparations for who?
I want some.
And what are you?
African American.
So you only want people that has African American descent to get reparations.
Yes. Is that a bad thing?
Yes.
How is that a bad thing?
Because when you find out that a lot of them African American people became slave owners, they're going to have to pay reparations to other people.
Not a lot of African Americans became slave owners. That's just
That's
yeah.
what? That's what? Please say it's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. So there was no black owners of slaves back in the day.
Maybe in Africa. I don't know about America.
You don't know about America. Have you ever Google searched it?
Oh, so now Google's a reliable source.
When it's so easy, I think the simplest, easiest things Google can probably answer. Was there ever a black slave owner in America? Just think that's real. That's real easy and simple. It's either yes or no. You know what I'm saying? Just and when you get that answer, think about their reparations, because who's ever descended of him is going to have to pay.
There was I wonder how that would work, because I know that there were black slave owners that were former slaves. Does that descendant get because he was formerly a slave, but he was also a slave owner? Does he get
That's
reparations?
That's the whole point of what I'm saying, CEO. Like, it doesn't matter. He was eventually a slave owner. So when he was a slave, that discredit that.
But also say this: slave owners got reparations after the Civil War. Why can't the slaves get reparations?
Because the people that you should be giving that money to are what, 64% dead?
True. Here,
so we only
I got a question for Johnny. If there were to be reparations given out for people that are descendants of slaves, what do you think those reparations should look like?
I think they could look like many different things, right? Rather it be policies, some sort of tax breaks.
No tax on overtime, no tax on tips.
No, something better. I mean, like something that can help them, get a step up in society.
How about getting life insurance at birth automatically?
I got an idea. How about a free home? I think a free home would be fucking sick as fuck.
I think that would be pretty cool.
A free home.
That would be dope. A free home, yes.
A free home gets, because I'll say this: the black people in general, statistically in America, own less homes than any other population in America. You get them into the housing market. It's not just beneficial in the short term. It's beneficial in the long term, in generations to come, and it gives it
Let me ask
generational wealth.
So is it wrong that white people are buying up land in America and say they don't want no black people around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Is it wrong that black people in America are buying up land and say they don't want no white people around?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's understandable.
but it's understandable. But guess what the key word is that y'all didn't pay no attention to? Buy. What did I say? They're buying up land. So you want this reparation, ethnicity growth that you're looking for is happening through hard work, sweat, and tears, not a handout from somebody who's going to call us the N-word once they turn the corner. Why do you want that? Make that make sense. I'm talking to Johnny. Excuse me, CEO. Okay.
Why wouldn't I want that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? I don't care what they say when they hand it over. And if they do say that, then eventually it's gonna show in time. Like,
so you care about racism, right? Because you don't want it, right?
What I'm saying is there needs to be. This is what I'm saying. There needs to be a point in history, in American history, that Black people could look back on and say, you know what? They did all that they can to, wash away, what happened in the past. But we don't have that.
Okay, hold on. Make that make sense. Break that down because I'm illiterate.
Okay, there needs to be a pivot in history.
There needs to be a pivot in history.
And American history where America does something for the minorities, the Black people, so that way Black people won't look at America as the enemy. And they can actually say, well, you know what? America has helped. They helped try to get us back, and functioning in society and not just like throwing them to the wolves in a sense.
Go ahead, CEO.
So I'll say this. I agree with you. It does suck that we don't have any point in history to look back on and say we made what we did right. It's kind of hard to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say it was kind of.
But I'm sorry to say, you guys are technically incorrect. And that brings me to this show that I've been wanting to bring up with you guys for the long. I should have started off with the show, but I think we started off with a good topic. But it's a guy that sat in a barbershop. Remember, I kept telling you about the barbershop tie? Remember, Johnny, we talked about it. I showed you, we went over the clips of it.
What's his name?
Crowder.
I'm not 100%.
Crowder?
Steven Crowder. He sat in a barbershop.
I don't remember. You gotta refresh my memory.
I am. Because I've been
Crowder as
Jesus Christ.
Actually, never mind.
It's what?
Never mind.
Say it.
No.
Say it. Speak.
No.
No, freedom of speech. Say it.
Oh, there is no freedom of speech. I will not say what I was about to say.
Who is Steven Crowder?
It is just intelligent for me to keep my mouth shut. This guy.
Oh, this weirdo. Go ahead. Who is he? He looks like he about to say some racial controversial stuff. I'm just saying, he looked like it. The way he got his hand down, his shirt's unbuttoned. Yeah. Go ahead.
He's sitting in an all-black barbershop.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think he's really going to say something really outrageous and really racial like what you're trying to say and per se a person.
He looked like he about to.
You're about to play it and he's going to say the N-word.
And see, this is the immaturity with y'all generation and stuff, and that you showed, like the lack of wanting to take the experience and learn something.
No, I'm open. I'm not saying I'm not open to hearing what he's about to say.
I'm not saying you, but even that statement, a lot of people are already jumping to the conclusion because they're like, oh, Steven Crowder, because yet again, Steven Crowder is technically a right winger.
Is he like a Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, he seems like a Charlie Kirk. That's
oh
he's
man, not
the Charlie Kirk. Hold on, to explain Steven Crowder. He's Charlie Kirk before Charlie Kirk.
Oh my God, that is not good. This brother
because
trying to get rid of DEI and all that stuff. Come on, man. Let's not talk about that kind of stuff. Go ahead, let me hear him out. Let's hear him out.
No, because you know what? I'm gonna wait until you really truly ready.
I'm ready. I'm open. I'm open to hearing. If he say something that's good, I can't deny it.
No,
you know.
We'll have an honest discussion about what he's talking about.
Okay.
And we're gonna do it on the next Friday. If y'all be here, we'll talk about that. I really want to sit through the whole session and talk with y'all about that. But yet again, getting rid of DEI what is DEI?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And what does it do?
So, I want to explain this.
I'll say, what is it supposed to do?
No.
Well, okay.
What does it do? Fuck what it's supposed to do.
No.
Here, that's the same thing.
Explain it.
No,
Go ahead.
So, when people talk about DEI and specifically the right wing, they get it confused with affirmative action. DEI is not the same as affirmative action. I am not for affirmative action, and most people aren't, right? What DEI is and usually is just making sure that like discrimination isn't happening. Like you can't just fire people based off of the basis of religion, right? That type of stuff. That's DEI. What affirmative action is hiring people based off of their race, ethnicity, religion, whatever the fuck. So say you want to hire someone that's Muslim because we have no Muslims in the country.
Pause. Because I got a question. So what is human resource?
HR.
So what is that?
It depends on what you're asking. What HR is. HR.
Johnny, what is HR? What is human resource?
You know, that's the hiring department, basically.
Okay. So if there's racism going on your job, where do you go to express that that's happening?
HR.
HR.
Okay.
But DEI is
DEI
just. Oh, hold on, man. DEI is just guidelines to go by that HR uses. Like DEI isn't like some separate entity or group of people or whatever. It's just guidelines.
So a reporter like George Reeves and Don Lemon, who claims they use that resources to get to where they at in their careers, do they qualify under this so-called umbrella?
Well, that's the thing. We're not talking about affirmative action. The way you're looking at it is
no. I'm looking at how they say it, not me.
Well, yeah, because DEI is anti-discrimination. It's not affirmative action, which is hiring people to meet quotas based off of race or none of that.
Okay.
DEI is just the thing to make sure you're not just firing people because they're black or, I don't know, gay or some shit, right? It's so just an anti-discrimination thing.
It really sounds like human resources and their job description of what they're supposed to be doing. If I'm wrong and incorrect, I do apologize. But yet again, that's what it 100% sound like to me.
Well, that is what human resources does, and it's based off of the guidelines of DEI, right?
Okay, so if there ever come a time that we're trying to get rid of racism and show that we are more united, how about we get rid of things that specifically uh, alerts racism if racism is supposed to be not there, and we're trying to get rid of it. The only way to get rid of stuff like that is to get rid of things that are virtue signaling racism.
No, that's incorrect.
I get
If
what you're
any,
saying, but hold on.
No,
I'll
hold on, CEO. Hold on, because Mr. Johnny hasn't really spoke, and I would like for him to elaborate how I'm incorrect. Please.
well, the only reason why I say that is because you should be wanting to enforce that more if you're for it, right? If you're not for racism and things of that nature, you should want to be enforcing those things more, not necessarily taking them away.
here. I'll put it like this: DEI doesn't just cover race, doesn't just cover religion or sexuality or whatever. It also protects shit like your political views, right? So, for example, you're a right wing guy, right? Say you have a hardcore Antifa liberal employer, and they're like, "Oh, you're a Christian man with conservative values. I'm gonna fire you for that and not give you compensation." DEI protects for shit like that. It protects for military status people that are disabled from the military, right? DEI, the way people look at the word DEI is just because they're conflating affirmative action, which is kind of the point, is completely different from DEI. DEI has been a thing for a very long time before, like, affirmative action talks and stuff like that. A way to look at affirmative action, which people blamed it on DEI, was Harvard, where Harvard wasn't hiring, or not hiring, but getting students enrolled that are Asian, even though they meet the qualifications. Asians had to go through a way higher standard than white people, black people, that kind of stuff, because
You want to get the best Asians. I get that.
Yeah, that's affirmative action, not DEI.
I mean, who wouldn't want to get the best Asians? So you don't want a mediocre Asian. You want the best ones out there. You know what I mean?
True.
So, nah, I'm just kidding. No, but you want to make people feel, these laws are meant to make people feel comfortable. Taking them away is basically saying, like, it's basically doing the complete opposite, right? You know, that's like if we were in a relationship, like if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm gonna do all that I can to make sure that they feel comfortable. No matter, whatever rules or, guidelines we put into place. If I start taking those things away, then it's gonna feel like there's no safety or comfort within inside of the relationship. So you just keep them there, and who knows, you maybe even try to go above and beyond what's already there to try to make people feel even more comfortable. But at the end of the day, I want America to have a point in history where they can say, you know what? We did all we could to help these black people get their foot back in the door. Because of what they had to go through and endure throughout history. That's all. Just have a point in time. Hey, man, you know what? We gave them free taxes for 10 years. Remember, just something to look back on, like something little, right? Nothing, even or if it's money or if it's a house or, whatever. I don't know. Something where they can, where people cannot, say like, or even think like, well, you know what? America doesn't like me. Because that's what a lot of black people think. America hates them. Some black people feel like America is against them and they hate them, because of like how they've been,
Move.
Treated.
Move.
That's just how some people think,
Move.
and
Why this country doesn't like me. It hates me. It never respects me. Get my punk ass up and go find a country that respects my wishes and what my demands are.
yeah, but then that's very immoral. That's immoral right there. Like,
That's
and then
unmoral?
and it's insensitive. Yes, very
Insensitive?
yeah, very insensitive to people, bro. You can't be like that with
So
people. We talking about people that's suffering,
come
that
on,
go through that are battling
Johnny.
mentally, no matter who that may be, rather black, whatever for whatever reason they may be battling with or for. You shouldn't be we shouldn't be looking at them and just saying, "Hey, get your punk behind up and just get over it." Like, no, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand where people are coming from, especially if it's a valid reason or something valid to even, be I wouldn't say in denial. I would say that
Johnny,
that they're struggling with.
are
That's
you ready?
insensitive. I'm not. I
Are you
can't be
ready?
insensitive like that. Go ahead.
So are you okay? All right, you're ready. So
Yep.
check this out. Now, you and I are standing on a corner. You on one corner, I'm on another corner, right? You making $1 an hour. I am making $5 an hour, right?
Hmm.
I move all the way up to now I can afford a chair. You are still standing. I am now sitting down making $5 an hour, and you are standing up making $1 an hour. Are you trying to tell me, because yet again I'm making double what you're making, and now I'm making it more comfortable than you, that I should stop what I'm doing and buy you a chair and take it across the street so you can sit down and make your corner at $1 an hour while I'm sitting over here making my corner at $5 an hour? Or that's what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, what is this analogy that you're trying to paint? Because if it's was
Here,
slavery,
I'll explain what and again, not trying to agree with Burn because I do disagree. But what Burn is trying to say is black people weren't doing well in society at a certain point in time, and he's trying to say that they're on par with the rest of society nowadays, but they're still
okay,
asking for reparations or a chair, as he's putting it, right?
okay, I see that. All right, okay.
So what he's trying to say is we're at a good point now. Why are we trying to get more when we're at the same place? But I'm about to look it up because I don't agree with that, because I do know that the statistics of, say, GDP per capita per person based off of race, black people do make far less per capita than other races, so they're still not making $5 to buy that chair as like white people or Asians or Latino. Like Latinos actually, I don't know if I'm pretty sure that they make more money than black people per capita.
What, Chinese?
Well, Chinese outbeats everyone.
I was gonna say Chinese sitting at the other corner making 13. Stop playing.
Yeah.
No. They're probably making 20.
But Chinese are in a greater situation where they get educated. They go to America for education and become doctors and programmers and things like that here in America. They have a high emphasis on education.
We are so-called slacking in America.
Yeah.
They succeed in. But yet again, why I put that analogy out there is for the simple fact that it never has became a reality of like, damn, we once had a whole black community, and I'm not even going to go into the details of Black Wall Street, and it fell, and then we rebuilt it.
Yeah, what year was that?
It doesn't matter.
No. Say the year because I think it does. What year was that?
Um, Matter of fact,
No.
let's be correct on the year.
Hey man, go ahead, look it up.
Black Wall Street was what year in America?
Oh, you got the Google Gemini out.
1921, when Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood district
Right.
was Greenwood was an incredibly prosperous African American community known as Black Wall Street.
Okay, stop. Where was the rebuild of Black Wall Street?
The rebuilding took place in the exact same location, the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. While the initial physical devastation was immense and many of the original owners never recovered their losses, the community has worked hard over the decades to preserve that history and revitalize the area. Are you interested in learning
What year?
Yep, but at the end of the day, that wasn't around the time.
Now it don't matter. You want me to go look up the year?
No. I want the year for a particular reason because we're talking about a time when there was segregation and discrimination going on. So they had to go and build their own economy. They had to go and build their own society where they were welcomed in. Why? Because at that time they were not welcomed. Where? In America.
So, my question to you right now: do you want to rebuild that type of society, or do you want to blend in with today's society right now?
For us, we have to blend in. Why wouldn't we want to blend in? And you know, and hold on. The reason why,
You
and
can't.
hold
Wait
on,
a
let me
minute. I
finish.
got a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
In order to blend in, do you want a handout or do you want to work for it?
There has to be some sort of handout, right? It's like if you were to take a woman who was, domestically abused and by their partner, and then all of a sudden their partner says, "You know what? I'm done abusing you." How safe do you think that domestically abused individual will feel around their partner? There has to be some sort of guidelines or something for recovery. There has to be something to help them out to make them feel comfortable around each other. And that's what I'm saying that we need right now in this day and age in America. We need something for America to help Black
Has
African
already
Americans
been this
feel
stuff.
comfortable with inside of society.
That has
That's all
already
I'm
been
saying.
this stuff.
There was no pivot in history for Black people. No, there wasn't a pivot. We need something to look back on. Go ahead.
So I think that if we're gonna solve the issue of racism right here on this podcast,
right now, we're solving racism.
Right now, I got the perfect answer. It's the same thing with Asian Americans. Simply education, right? I think that's the biggest issue is the education problem. If you're looking at the statistics, the real statistics, I'm not just pulling this out my ass. Black school districts receive far less to zero money and funding for their schools compared to majoritively white districts, which just has to do with property tax and living in low-income neighborhoods, right? Usually schools are funded by property tax, that type of thing. If you want a good solution to what's it called? What's the reparation? If you want a good solution to reparations, fund schools, because where you're gonna see growth in communities is education. You're gonna see it in their culture. You're gonna see it in their income. You're gonna see it everywhere. I think that education is the way forward.
What if a state did exactly that? Came up with a solution to refund poor district schools in a Black neighborhood and a black woman ran and campaigned and won on on putting that shit out of commission. Why? Because it affected her pockets.
So someone ran
I know a
against doing
person.
that.
I know a person who ran, and it's going to take me a minute to go find that story.
Okay.
Because these stories eventually be covered. And that's why I'm so glad Johnny be on here. That's why I be like telling I really need him on here, because a lot of these stories people have done, but there's this thing called if we solve the problem, my people don't make no money. That's why we don't solve the problem. Okay. And that is highly done in the black community by black people, and black people do it to themselves. And I'm going to always point the finger at that problem. And there's your solution to your reparations. Quit fucking ourselves over and we'll get somewhere. Quit worrying about our own personal pockets. Chicago.
We need America to get on board, right? Not this state thing. One state does this, another state does this, one city does this.
That's how America
no,
works.
no. We need then that's a problem. We need America to come
That's a
together.
problem.
We need, like I said, we need America to come together to make this point in history where we can look back on and say, well, you know what? We did X, Y, and Z to get them the step up that they need in society.
But
America
not a
has to
lot
do
of
that.
people. It's not America's problem.
It
We
is
haven't been
America's
going
problem.
through racism in the last 10 years.
We're talking about slavery, discrimination, racism, everything. You know,
You
if we
can't,
want we
bro, you
want to be
cannot go to
blended,
court. Go to
if
court. Go to court. Go to court. You think you can win something like that? Because be honest with yourself. That's it, a court problem. Take that shit to federal court. Since you don't want to make it a state, because each state runs their state differently, and you know that factually. That's why you got mayors and governors. That's why you got counties. That's why you got cities. That's like, come on, dog. You got to step into reality and understand if you're going to face that problem. And if you want me to really face that problem, Richard, of trying to solve reparations, yeah, we got to figure out how to go to court and win. That's me being real on that shit with you on your side. Let's go get reparations. Okay, cool. How the fuck we gonna win this shit in court? Fuck politicians, fuck the governor, fuck the president, fuck all of them. Because once we win it in court, bam, it's documented.
yeah, I think there does have to be a court case. It does have to be documented so we can look back on it
The
in
only
history.
way. Let's go get it. How are we gonna win
Yeah.
this in court? How we finna show America? I think it's the people. Would it be people versus America?
Well, I mean, unless the Supreme Court overturns it.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's win in court first. Damn it, CEO.
Yeah, the Supreme Court, man. Yeah, but winning in court is a start. You know,
I think it has to do with voting the right people in office. Because you need the Supreme Court to back you up. You need Congress.
So first of all, we gotta get let's be real. You gotta get the right judges, whoever I need, put them in place. You gotta excuse me for saying this, I do apologize. But you don't have to do the Trump thing. I
agree with you. I agree with you. Not the way
because you're gonna have to put people. For one, we got to put somebody in Ohio. You got to get Naveg Ramaswamy out. You gotta get him out. You gotta get DeSantis out. You got to get Tim Walsh out. You got to get a lot of people out that's against us winning. Period. Because we need a landslide. I don't need nobody. Because I'm keeping it real with you. I ain't got time for no slip ups. So if you're not aboard, I need them out of office by what 2028, 2030 something.
At least
2032.
2032, yeah.
2032. Or what's the next one after that? Because
2036.
Well,
by 2036, I need people in play.
I think. Well, midterms are this November. This is
Midterm. You can
time.
Listen here. Do not get on docs. Listen here. Okay. Sorry. Scratch this. We gotta get past Trump. As long as Trump is right here, we not winning shit. Reparations kiss our ass. You got to think past. Let's get rid of Trump. Let's get past MAGA. Let's get them people out of the way. Let's be realistic. Go ahead.
What were you responding to, though?
The fact that you was like midterms. Like, no, this midterms is lost. Like, let's be realistic.
The midterms is lost? What do you mean?
This midterm is going to be like not nothing pushing democratically. You're going to get a couple of little wins here, a couple of wins there, nothing able to move a movement. I'm talking about putting people in place in order to do a job for reparations. Nobody right now that's for that movement is in place. Right now, those people are getting technically fired. That's why Johnny up here is pissed off. And I'm just keeping it real. What's called lost his I forgot what position he is. Just lost his district to a young black man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anybody that's about that reparation movement, they getting okay. So if you're gonna do it right, we gotta be better than Black Panthers. We gotta be better than Barack Obama. You gotta put people in a place of position.
Yeah, I think first we should, circle back to this on Friday, and maybe we should start, just talking about some ideas. You know what I mean? Like the thought of reparations is always cool, but then it always boils down to what exactly is it going to consist of.
I told you. I just kept it. I can't keep it no realer than this.
Go ahead.
If you really want it, you gotta put people in position. You have to plan ahead, like I just did. 2032. If nobody gonna keep it real like that, they on some bullshit.
Nah, I mean you're not lying, but we but people gotta be on board with the idea. And I don't know who's on board with that idea.
Well, you are.
You got to get more people on board, and I think the big thing about reparations is it's extremely unappetizing for a lot of people to hear, just because it's talked about in not feasible ways.
Yeah,
so not a lot of people are on board with reparations.
The only states that's really ever talked about reparations is Illinois and California, but every time
New York brought it up, but they pushed the talk back to like 2029. So
right, it's always a talk and it's always a research ability. Why? Because I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna keep it 100 one more time. You have to put people in position. You have to put a governor, a couple of mayors, a couple of judges. You have to do that. If you're not strategically moving like that, boy, shit. And I'm just keeping it real. You got to put it like that because you have to win in court. no president is going to have the balls unless it's a Stephen A. Smith, which yet again, Stephen A. Smith let people like anybody say, here's Stephen A. Oh, no. But yet again, that's a black person from New York, Bronx, from the Bronx, from the hood that definitely would think about reparations, but you wouldn't put him in office. That's oh my God. Y'all be fucking me up with the shit and the decisions and people who y'all want to choose to put in fucking office. But yet again, reparations, Stephen A. Smith. Oh, no, not that black man. He just fucking shit out. But hello? Yeah. Okay. I don't hear nobody rooting for that guy. That's I'm not running.
You know what? I'm gonna try to run for president. Forget it.
I'll vote for Johnny.
I'll try to run.
Hey, look, I'll help you out. I'll help you out with your campaign. I'll fundraise for you and everything.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
What year you running for?
2028. Let's go.
I'm not old enough. Don't you got to be like 35 or something?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't old enough, so we're gonna go for the next one.
Listen, here, Johnny, you could run for president in 2032, and I'll be your VP.
All right, say less.
Okay.
And then I'll have you assassinated and take your place.
Right now, if that was real, if you want to be realistic, you need to go run for some type of governor or something. You need to go run for a position.
I mean, mayor is coming up soon, so
you know what I'm
I
saying?
can shoot for it.
You got to go get your feet wet, brother.
I'll shoot for it. I don't know what to do. I don't even know how I would start something like that.
Now that
door knocking, go to door, be like, hey, I'm running for mayor. Here's some things that I want to implement for my community.
Have a couple of slogans. No things that are problems.
You don't got to do slogans. You just got to be likable. And specifically, talk to older people because older people vote 4 times higher than young people. You don't have to appeal to young people. Just
and try to have solutions.
Be nice, genuine, talk about policy, and they'll vote for you.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all got to help me next Friday, though.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anytime that you're watching this, I appreciate that y'all watching the show. This is BurnLive, and we in the building. And with that, I'd like to say, have a good day. We out. Peace.
This motherfucker is locked.
Talking, I'm in love, baby.